Give another hand for the BTW Magnet High School Choir, led by Mr. Milton Williams, no relation. Thank you all for joining us this evening for an evening of remembrance. A lot of you probably wake up early with us on WSFA. My name is Jasmine Williams, or maybe you end your night and evening with us on WSFA with Val and Mark. As you all know, on WSFA we cover a lot of crimes, violent crimes, robberies, murders, things of that nature in the headlines. But tonight is not about the headlines. Tonight's about the names, the victims, the families, the people who live in our communities, the people we go to church with, our family members, and we hope that we can just do you all justice in the honor of remembering all of those faces. You should have a bag in your hand that has a beautiful poem in it. If you haven't had the chance to read it, I encourage you to read it either sometime throughout our program or sometime later on this evening when you get home. Again, this is the 6th annual Evening of Remembrance put on by the Montgomery County District Attorney's Office. This week is National Crime Victims' Rights Week, if you're not aware. And recently, the governor actually dedicated this entire month to crime victims and their rights. But I'm sure all of you know that this is not a month-long or a week-long battle. This is something we deal with year-round. And for those who deal with the profound grief, this is something you deal with every minute, every hour of every single day. So we thank you all for joining us tonight. We want to support you, but we also want to remember and honor those. We're going to do that through song. You just heard some songs now. We're going to do that through prayer, and then we're going to do that with a beautiful tribute video at the very end of this program. Next up, though, we're going to have Montgomery County Commissioner Carmen Moore-Ziegler. She was appointed by Governor Kay Ivey in 2022 to District Seat 2. She's actively involved in our community, supporting business leaders, supporting those in our community, and covering many events. This evening, she will offer us a word of prayer.
Good evening, everyone. I promised myself that while I'm doing this evening, I won't cry, because I get emotional sometimes when I think about the people that we've lost, the lives that we've lost too soon. If we bow our heads in prayer. Father God, we come to you today to remember those lives that we lost too soon. We ask that you bring comfort to the mother who has stricken with grief, who can't seem to sleep at night, worried about their loved one. We ask that you bring comfort to the father who's paced the floor all night long looking for answers. We ask, God, that you touch the sons and daughters who cry, wondering, have you forsaken them for taking their loved one? God, we ask if you have a little time left, we just stop at Montgomery, Alabama, and teach us to love each other and not hate, to teach us to look at each other with compassion and hope. God, we ask that you do all these things in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Commissioner. I have a little tissue in my hand. It's not going to be cute if I get up here crying. I'm going to try to stay strong throughout the night. Commissioner, thank you for that prayer. Up next, we have a selection from Montgomery District Attorney Executive Assistant LaShonda Palmer. She will sing a song joined by James Purefoy.
My
Y'all give Miss LaShonda another round of applause. That's excellent, excellent, excellent. Next, I'm going to introduce a woman who really needs no introduction. She is Montgomery County's District Attorney, Azzy Oliver. She's going to lead us in a moment of reflection. Ms. Oliver was appointed to District Attorney for Alabama's 15th Judicial Circuit by the Governor in October 2024. This was a historic milestone, making her the first African American to serve as Montgomery County's District Attorney. Her entire career, she has dedicated her life to fighting for those in the community. She remains steadfast in her commitment, advocating for victims and enhancing safety here in the capital city. Please join me in welcoming Montgomery County's District Attorney, Azzy Oliver.
Good evening. This evening we gathered for a sacred purpose, to remember, to honor, and to stand in solidarity. An evening of remembrance is not just a promise that those who have lost their lives to violence, will never be forgotten. Tonight is about the victims, their families, and a community coming together in compassion and resolve. We remember the lives taken too soon, neighbors, friends, children, parents, each one unique, each one deeply loved. They are more than headlines, more than case numbers, more than statistics. They are stories, they are dreams, and futures that matter. This vigil ensures their names, their lives, and their impact endure. We recognize the deep pain carried by families who have lost their loved ones to senseless violence. We also acknowledge the frustration and heartache of those of you who are still waiting for answers, still waiting for justice. To those families, we see you, we grieve with you, and we stand beside you. We must be honest with ourselves. Violence is a real and pressing problem in our community. Too many lives are being lost, especially among our young people. Gun violence, in particular, is taking our sons and daughters, classmates, and friends far too soon. And this is not something we can ignore, and it must not be something that any one group can solve alone. Real change requires all of us. Parents, teachers, faith leaders, community members, and law enforcement must come together with urgency and purpose. We must invest in our youth, guide them, protect them, and give them pathways to hope and opportunity. Prevention, accountability, and compassion must go hand in hand. I read somewhere where it said that grief is the reminder that love was present, and that even if it's no longer in its original form, that love still exists. Let this vigil be a reminder that you are not alone, that your loved ones are not forgotten, and that this community stands with you. We grieve together, and in that grief we find strength to keep moving forward. Psalm 34:18 says that the Lord is near the brokenhearted. He saves those who are crushed in spirit. So thank you to everyone who is gathered here tonight. Your presence matters, each and every one of you. We extend our appreciation to the city, county, and state leaders who are here, and to our law enforcement officials who serve and protect this community. Your commitment to justice and safety is vital, and we are grateful for your work. Let tonight renew our commitment, not only to remember, but to act. Let us leave here determined to build a safer, stronger community where fewer families have to endure this kind of loss. And may we continue to honor those we've lost, not only with our words, but with our actions. At this time, I would like to invite the member of the Montgomery County Commission to join me at the podium. They will present a special proclamation reaffirming our shared commitment to supporting victims and continuing the work of making our community safer for all.
Thank you, District Oliver, for all you do for the victims. Whereas the victims carry out not only meeting, but also legal rights, protection, and recognize the role within the justice system. And whereas victims' rights laws enacted in the state of Alabama and all at the federal level ensure that victims are afforded the opportunity to be informed, present, and heard throughout the criminal justice process. And whereas Victim Services provides advocates, law enforcement attorney, and allied professionals play a critical role in uplifting those rights and supporting survivors on their path toward justice, healing, and whereas the ability to provide victim impact statements ensures that survivors' voices are considered during sentencing and, when appropriate, proceedings. And whereas elevating the voice and experience of survivors strengthens community trust and reinforces a justice system that is responsive, inclusive, and fair. Whereas meaningful engagement with survivors whereas the lived experience of survivors can inform, improve programs, and guide policy changes that remove barriers to service and access to justice. And whereas National Crime Victim Rights Week serves as a time to reaffirm our community to listening to and supporting survivors in every space where decisions are made that affect our lives. And whereas Montgomery County remains committed to fostering an environment where survivors are heard, believed, supported, and empowered. Now, therefore, be resolved that the Montgomery County Commission does hereby proclaim the week of April the 19th through the 25th as Crime Victims' Rights Week. Thank you, sir.
We have a lot of special people in this room with us tonight. Now I have the privilege of introducing our keynote speaker of the night, Dr. Tonda West. Dr. West is a senior pastor of Fountain of Hope Praise and Worship Ministry. She's also very passionate about community engagement, something she witnessed firsthand from her mother and grandparents. She works as a minister, she's a community advocate, and she is a licensed professional counselor. That means she's committed to advancing mental health, healing, and social justice. She's going to bring us a message tonight of comfort and hope and guidance. And we're going to hear another song from BTW's choir, and then we're going to hear that wonderful message from Dr. West.
Good evening. I'd like to express appreciation to District Attorney Oliver for the invitation to share during this night of remembrance. Family members and community stakeholders, tonight we gather to acknowledge a moment that is both solemn and sacred. It is solemn and sacred to everyone present. As a pastor, a mental health practitioner, and someone who understands the devastating effects of loss, I can assure you that our gathering tonight is necessary. It is necessary because tonight as a community, we are afforded an opportunity to pause, remember, and honor the lives of those that have mattered and still matter today. The number of family members and friends in attendance tonight serves as a beautiful testament to the deep, enduring love that you still carry for your loved ones. As a community, we recognize that your presence here tonight is not easy. It is an act of courage, because for you, this night is just not about remembrance, it's personal. For many of you, I am sure that this gathering brings back memories of conversations, laughter, and shared moments with loved ones. For others, it recalls the weight of absence and serves as a reminder of the ongoing reality of learning how to live after loss. I commend you. I commend you tonight for being present. For being present because your presence bears witness to the reality of loss. And the presence of this community and its stakeholders bears witness to the truth that no life should ever be reduced to a moment of violence. And tonight, we see you. We honor your courage, your strength, the strength to persevere during life's most challenging moments, and we stand with you. There are no perfect words or a perfectly crafted message that will ever fully describe the emotions that you carry daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, and for some decades. I'm always moved and at times unsettled by the common phrase expressed to families, "It will get better over time." This sentiment is often expressed when we are unfamiliar with the depth of loss at this magnitude. We often fail to understand that grief does not fit neatly into sentences. Loss does not follow a timeline, and healing does not happen all at once. Grief can be heavy. It can be unpredictable. It shows up when you least expect it. Some days you may feel steady, other days something small can come and trigger your emotions, and all of a sudden those emotions resurface. And when loss happens suddenly or violently, there is another layer that is often accompanies grief, and that is trauma. I wish I could tell you tonight as a mental health practitioner that trauma only lives in the brain. But I come to tell you tonight that not only does it live in the brain, it can affect your sleep, your sense of safety, your ability to trust the world around you. Sometimes it feels like you are on the edge. Sometimes it feels like you've gone completely numb. Sometimes you don't even have the words for what you are feeling. Reoccurring nightmares, feelings of guilt and shame and anger and anxiety, they are subject to arise at any moment. And if you have experienced any of these symptoms or behaviors, I want you to hear this clearly from a mental health practitioner. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. These feelings and behaviors are human responses to something that should have never occurred. The message I hope to convey to you tonight is that you are not alone. This community, this room, chooses to stand beside you, not to make sense of some senseless act, but to be present, to remember your loved ones, and to honor you for your bravery for showing up tonight. Because every life we remember tonight was greater than the way it ended. They were relationships. They were human beings. They were mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, cousins, aunts, uncles, sons and daughters, nieces and nephews. And for some of us, they were best friends. They were a part of someone's everyday life. They were yours. And because of that, you should not have to carry these experiences alone. You deserve support. You deserve spaces where you can talk, where you can process, where you don't have to pretend that you are okay when you're not. And whether the support comes through counseling, through trusted relationships, or through community, having the support that you need during these trying times matter. Not because it takes away the pain, but because it reminds you that you don't have to carry this weight alone. And that is part of why this night of remembrance is important. Because this is not just about remembering those you lost. It's about whether we as a community are willing to stand close to you during your moments of pain, or are we willing to run away from your pain? And tonight what we are saying is this: we're not turning away. We are choosing to stand here, to remember, to acknowledge, and to care. But if we stop at remembrance alone, we miss something important. And as we hold memory tonight, we must hold responsibility. Because remembrance without reflection leaves us unchanged. If we are serious about honoring the lives of your loved ones, then we must also be serious about creating conditions where fewer families experience this kind of loss in the future. That means that we must strengthen how we show up in the community before crisis occurs, not after it. It means investing in spaces, interventions, and healing avenues long before crimes take place. It means recognizing that violence does not emerge in isolation, but rather it is often shaped by unmet needs, undressed pain, and systems that must be strengthened through collaboration and care. And when we talk about unmet needs, we must first be honest about what that includes. It includes families who need support but may not know where to go to during times of crisis. It includes parents who are doing the best they can, yet they need additional tools, guidance, and community to help them navigate through the challenges that their children or families are facing. It includes young people searching for belonging, identity, and safety, but yet there is no place at times for them to go to that will not put them at risk. And that is why a stronger family, a stronger community framework must be intentional. It must include parents not just as caregivers, but as partners equipped, supported, and connected. This framework must include prevention efforts such as mentorship, early intervention, and gang prevention programs that provide young people with alternatives, direction, and hope before harmful pathways become a central component of their lives. It must include access to mental health resources that address trauma before it turns into cycles of harm. It means that every sector of our community, families, schools, faith, communities, mental health providers, law enforcement, and civic leaders must come together to collaborate in creating efforts where life is protected and valued. And not through blame, but through shared responsibility, shared awareness, and shared commitment to prevention and healing. Because whether you believe it or not, honoring those we have lost also requires us to ask questions. What are we building in their memory? What are we changing because of their absence? What are we willing to do so that fewer names will be added to the list in the future? And finally, I want to close with some hope, but not a hope that ignores what has been said tonight. This is not hope that denies grief. This is not hope that minimizes your pain. This is not hope that requires that you move on. This is a deeper kind of hope. This hope lends to the idea that even in the presence of grief, you are not abandoned. This hope encourages you that even in the weight of trauma, that you realize that you are not alone. This hope recognizes that even in the face of violence, the community still has the power to choose nonviolence. This hope looks like being present, showing up at critical moments. This hope looks like standing together when it would be easier to turn away. This hope looks like remembering that love does not end where life is taken. And so tonight, as we leave this space, it is my desire that we carry this with us, that we remember, we honor, we stand together, we stand with one another, and we do not let this moment pass without becoming more committed to saving lives, to healing our community, to healing broken systems, and to being there one for another. And to every family here tonight, I stand as a civic leader and a pastor to say to you, you are seen, you are valued, your loved ones are not forgotten, and neither are you. God bless you.
Now I have some very clear instructions for everyone as we enter what is considered the sacred part of this program. This is the Remembrance program. We're going to show a video tribute of remembrance. This is to remember those lives cut short and remind people that their love, presence, and impact remains with us. As we begin this tribute, we invite each of you to take that electronic candle, you should have got that when you walked in the door, turn it and twist it gently at the bottom, and it should turn that light on. I'm seeing the lights starting to glow. As the lights glow, we want this to serve as a symbol of remembrance and of love that never fades and of lives that are not forgotten. During the video tribute, we also ask that family and friends stand up when you see your loved one's picture pop up on that screen. And we're going to stand with you as well, honoring them. We know that our words, Dr. West just said this, does not fully express the loss that you all carry with you every day, but we hope that you know that you are not alone and that this community is standing beside you with these candles, lifting you up in resilience. This tribute will mark the conclusion of our program this evening. So on behalf of all who came together, the District Attorney, Dr. West, Commissioner Carmen Moore-Ziegler, and all the families, we thank you all for coming together to honor us. Again, may these lights remind us that even in the darkest moments, love endures. us this evening. We really appreciate it.